So another beautiful morning, and with this citrus project that's going to be here and opening up the whole area to the sun and prevent the shade. In the plan for some of the beds, I did have some cordylines like this cordyline australis, which will actually can get huge. So I'm going to take this out and transplant. It's not in here long. I think it's only like a season and a half or a season. So that should transplant in spring. I'll probably put a cordyline red star in here, as I have over here. Max has already killed off a cordyline australis that was in the corner by peeing on it, and I do have cordyline australis in here. This one has grown really well. See the way it's, I think maybe because of the surrounded by the wall, it's protected. Max is probably not peeing on it, and it's getting the sun coming around. That's grown really well. This one in here was the exact same size when I planted it, but it's really suffered. I took out one of the wild sedges that was here, and it probably drained all the resources in the soil and the moisture. So that will come out. I might pot it up or just transplant it. I'll have a look at the roots. Since I took out that sedge, I put in a Sabal, the rosy eye, or rosy, and it's done really well, unprotected. I just wanted to test some of them to see how they get on over the winter's very mild anyway. This is the Sabal mexicana. And one thing I've noticed about the palms, they are not 100% dormant, and maybe it's because of the mild winters. They still develop palms. The palms open up. Same with the Trachycarpus. So that's Mexicana. I think the old name was Texicana or Texensis, was it? Not too sure. I had an accident with the lawnmower during the summer, and basically all weeds had covered up, and I went over with swinging the mower around, the lawnmower, and this got chopped to the ground. But it's thrown up new spears again. This is the wagnerianus. I protected that because it was so small. This here is the Theophrasti Golkoi. It's native to, I think the area is Golkoi, coastal area in Turkey. These almost feel plastic-like, unprotected, and so far they look really good, really healthy. It is kind of on a mound, lots of drainage, stone and stuff like that. So the small Sabals, I have given them that extra bit of protection, and also with these clear cloches, kind of acts like a microclimate, like a little greenhouse. This is a rosy eye. This is the first rosy eye I got. That got actually chopped right to the ground as well, but it's coming back. That's the Theophrasti Golkoi. That's the Sabal minor. So it's a dwarf. It develops the trunk underground, kind of like the Trachycarpus nanus. It develops its trunk underground. New spear coming up, no problems, no protection. I can't recall the name of this one. Oh, Louisiana, I think it's called. I had a little tag here, but it got chopped up in the lawnmower. I think that's the Louisiana. But once it's developing its roots, they should be alright. That's the wild sedge I was talking about. It can be a bit of a brute, a bit of a bully when it gets settled in and it can spread, but I think it looks excellent. It's an excellent plant to complement as an understory plant for palms, stuff like that, even fatsias or other plants. And here's another Sabal minor. I thought that one was so good I got a second one. And this one is in the most shady part, and it's doing really well, but I have decided to give it some protection. So here's another sedge. They just sell seed, and I'm hoping to put lots of these into the wood down below. I'll probably put this somewhere here to the front. This is the Japanese arrowhead. Really hardy, grows really easy. That's another one here. And I've put in one, the variegated. It's a beautiful bamboo, this one. Beautiful. Come on. Heavy bark mulch. So I hope to get some Trachycarpus in here. That will be coming out. These are some of the weakest of the Trachycarpus Fortunais. They definitely don't like dry conditions. These are some of the stronger ones. So I basically have like 3 sizes of the Trachycarpus Fortunai. So I have the seedlings, which I showed yesterday in the video. These ones here, they're probably just around touching a foot tall or just under a foot tall. I have those, and then I have the big ones that I brought in, which are much bigger. So I want to stagger the heights down in the wood. I don't want all the palms at the same height going upwards. I want small, medium and high and mixed, so it looks very natural. Yeah, so those, the australis here and behind the red star, they're going to grow up and it's just going to create shade on the garden, so that's not going to happen. They're going to come out. I'd probably put some, mix them up across the ends, or put some down into the wood. Actually, could be nice and see how they get on in the wood. So if you're wondering what the Trachycarpus, if you saw the video yesterday, Trachycarpus Palms, you have the Fortunai or the Chusan palm. That's this palm here. Just show you the size of my hand. The upper palms are really stiff, look really good, and I think as the because of probably the energy and the light, and as they get older, the ones down lower, they have this drooping effect. So half the leaf will come out and then it'll just start to bend. Look, already bending here. Very kind of a relaxed, blousy looking palm. Okay, so that's the Chinese Chusan palm, Trachycarpus fortunei. Fortunei it comes from Robert Fortune, who was a Scottish basically he was into plants and like looking for new plants and stuff like that, and he was the guy that went over and brought them back to the UK and stuff like that. But they grow real easy here in Ireland. Grow real easy in temperate conditions, so you don't need to protect them for winter or anything. Just when they're really, really small, give them some protection. That's the Princeps, Trachycarpus Princeps. Beautiful palm. It's a very popular palm amongst the enthusiasts of palms and the jungle tropical style gardening. This is the Chinese walking stick bamboo. Now you can see the thickness there. There's hardly any thickness. Where I got this, I can just show you there. They have these nodes that come out and bulge up. But these canes can actually get really thick, like as thick as you'd need for a walking stick. But these nodes, they can separate, and what they do is I think they fuse them together, glue them together, and they create a walking stick. But this is I'm not going to use the word invasive, because plants are only invasive if the soil conditions and weather conditions are favourable. So you can put an invasive, so-called invasive plant into an area where the soil conditions and weather conditions are not favourable, and it's not going to become invasive. But this is considered a spreading, or an invasive bamboo. And I have a lot of other plants here. It seems to be slow to get going, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this out. And one of the palms I brought in there yesterday, I'll probably put in another waggy palm, because they already have 2, 3 small Trachycarpus fortunei just underneath max there. Another Trachycarpus fortunei here. Schefflera taiwaniana. Beautiful looking. Okay, so that was the Chusan palm, Trachycarpus fortunei. This is the Trachycarpus wagnerianus. A waggy. So they're just called, if you hear someone talking about waggies, you'll know what this is. So you can see the size difference, much smaller, probably a third to easily a third in size compared to the palms. But they don't get floppy. They're really rigid, almost plastic-like. They are small. They can be smaller in height as well than the Trachycarpus fortunei. I think it was a botanist. It was a German botanist by the name of Wagner, who I think he came across these in Japan, and I think they're in China as well, other parts of Asia. That's the waggy palm. They're really resilient to high winds, so they can handle high winds, and they're super hardy. They don't need to protect them. Only if they're small you protect them. Compared to the Trachycarpus fortunei, which can get knocked about in the winds.